Hello, how are you? It's nice to be here with you again, and I look forward to these live videos on Facebook. I really enjoy them, and I actually spend time to prepare for them, to think about what I could talk to you about that would be helpful, that would help you in the difficult times that we're experiencing at the moment, but that would also help you outside of these times, changing the way you feel and how you react or act in certain situations. And so today I wanted to talk to you about anxiety. Now, anxiety and I used to be best friends, and about 5 years ago, still, if there was Olympics, if fear was an Olympic sport, if anxiety had been an Olympic sport up until 5 years ago, I probably would have been in the finalists every single time, and I probably would have won the gold medal quite a few times. So anxiety and I were like that. We were best friends, and let me tell you, it ruined my life. I mean, living with anxiety is crippling. I mean, living with any kind of chronic illness is crippling. But sometimes depression can be seen as not necessarily being a chronic illness. And I heard Miranda Hart. I love Miranda Hart, and I watch all her live videos. But in one of her live videos yesterday, she was mentioning what she considers are chronic illnesses and which ones are not. And she put anxiety in the ones that were not. And I have to disagree with Miranda Hart on this one. I believe anxiety is crippling and it is a chronic illness. And there are ways that you can recover. There are things you can do to help. So some of you know my story, some of you don't. The way I got rid of anxiety for good, in the way that it was crippling. Yes, I still get nervous sometimes. I'm a human being. I'm not a robot. So before my exams, yes, I did get a bit nervous, but I was not crippled by anxiety. I wasn't in the bathroom vomiting, and that's just part of what would have been happening. So I got rid of these crippling anxieties by learning the lightning process. So I did the lightning process training almost 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years in August already, and I was in New Zealand at the time. I did it also for depression, and I got rid of the depression within 3 or 4 days. The anxiety took a bit longer, but the difference already after the 3 days of training was tremendous. And I've just been using it in my life consistently. It's like anything you do in life, if you want to change, consistency is key. It's all very well to do something a little bit to try it out, but if you don't persist with it, it's not going to make any difference. So persistence and consistency are key to lasting change. So I used the tools that I learned, the lightning process exercise. I used it consistently and essentially rewired my brain, changed those neural connections. I learned how to switch off unhelpful and anxious thoughts and switch on the calm pathways, the calming neural pathways. And I wanted to talk about anxiety today because what we're experiencing at the moment, a lot of people are feeling really anxious about what is happening. Can't figure out how to turn my camera. Here we go. We'll go this way. A lot of people are experiencing really strong anxiety at this time, and one of the main causes for this anxiety is not knowing when confinement will end, not knowing when the children will go back to school, not knowing how things will go when our kids go back to school, not knowing when we'll go back to work, if we'll go back to work, not knowing if we're going to keep our job, if there'll be a restructure. There are so many unknowns in life in general, but at the moment there are even more unknowns and even more people living with this anxiety. And there's an anagram I really like, the anagram of the word fear, FEAR. It's false evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And I think that is so powerful because that's what we're doing. Usually, when we're anxious, we're imagining a really, really shitty future and really immersing ourselves in that really, really shitty future and bringing those feelings back with us to today and feeling really, really shit as a consequence. Because the reality is, as a human being, we have this need to imagine what's going to happen. We need to know, we want to control what's going to happen, but we can't control what's going to happen. And we don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to imagine it. And then, so now we have a choice. Either we can imagine a really, really shitty future, and feel really, really shit as a consequence, or we can imagine a really, really good future and feel a lot better as a consequence. And so that's what I wanted to talk to you about. The thing is, you are going to imagine what's going to happen. You can't help it. And for your brain, anything you imagine, it's as if it had actually happened, okay? So research shows that imagined memories are like real memories for our brain. They carry the same weight of evidence. And so why don't we feed our brain positive invented memories that are going to make us feel better rather than imagine shitty memories? So again, this fear being this false evidence appearing real. And one story I want to tell you about this is when my children were little, and I didn't have the lightning process tool at the time to help me. When my children, when they were babies, when they got sick, they might have had a cold, they might have had a temperature, they might have been vomiting. When my children got sick, the first thought that came through my mind, it was automatic and it was really quick, is, when are they going to die? It wasn't if they were going to die. There was no question that they were going to die. They were going to die. The question was when. They only had a cold. They only had a fever. Their body was fighting against the virus that they had at the time. But I was so stuck on catastrophizing the future that's all I could do. I didn't know how to do anything else. I was stuck in that until I learned the lightning process. And that's why it changed my life. But one of the things you do in the lightning process in a more in-depth way than what we're going to do now is that we learn to imagine a really, really good life-enhancing future and really immerse ourselves in those feelings and bring them back to the present. It's a form of visualization. And we know now, neuroscience research has shown the power of visualizations. So there was a study that took two groups of people and got them to learn a piece of music on the piano. And one group was practicing on the piano, and the other group was practicing in their mind by visualizing themselves playing the piece on the piano. And at the end, the group who only visualized practicing on the piano could play the piece as well as those who had practiced on the piano. That is the power of what is going on in your mind. And so what I want to teach you to do today, if you're someone who's really anxious a lot of the time and who tends to catastrophize the future and imagine the worst that could happen, do this. I'm going to do a short meditation now. So what I really recommend for this is that you close your eyes. If you're somewhere that is safe, somewhere where you can rest, where you don't have to drive, where, there's no danger of you causing an accident, just relax wherever you are right now. Just take a deep breath in. And feel your whole body just relaxing. Letting go, feeling the sensation of your body against maybe a chair or the feet on the ground or whatever you are sitting or lying on right now. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And now, imagine what might happen next week or in 2 weeks, or in 3 weeks. When your children go back to school, imagine the best that could happen. The best case scenario. And see yourself wherever you are. Hear what you're thinking, your internal thoughts. Hear what you're hearing around you. Smelling the smells, maybe tasting whatever you're tasting, and really connecting with those feelings of, yeah, the kids are back at school and things are fine, they're doing well, everything in the country's under control and people know what they're doing. Whatever the best case scenario is for you, imagine it really strongly and powerfully right now, as if you were there now, as if you were even a year from now, when this is all done and dusted, and we've learned a lot of things from what has happened, and things are more stable, and you're back in a routine, and the kids are at school, if you have kids, you're back at work, you've got a job. Whatever you want to imagine, just really connect with those feelings right now. And if those feelings were a color, what color would they be? And usually here it's the first color that comes to your mind. And let that color now just flow through you from the top of your head, going down through your shoulders, your arms, your body, all the way down to the tip of your toes. That beautiful color just flowing through you, transforming your experience of the present. And connect with those feelings right now. And now take that beautiful color that you chose, that is flowing through you, take it with you into the rest of today, into tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and next week, next month, and the month after that, trusting that you know that things are just going to work out, that you will be okay, that things will unfold, and that you are completely able to take things day by day, and anytime you want, you can imagine that ideal version of the future that you really want and connect with it. It's as easy as what we've just done. And imagine yourself now in 10 years. 10 years from now, that color is still with you, flowing through you. Maybe it's around you, maybe it's above you, beaming like a light. Whatever is happening with that color, it's with you in 10 years' time still. And you can vaguely remember what it was like that time when there was the coronavirus. Feels like it's already quite a long way away in the past. You remember certain things, but you've moved on. Life has gone on. And you're enjoying life. Your children have grown if you've got children. You're happy in your job. Really connect with that feeling of, yeah, that period of the coronavirus is so far away. In 20 years' time, imagine yourself now in 20 years' time. In 30 years' time, maybe. It's further and further and further away. And you're enjoying life. Really take a moment now to breathe that feeling in of, yeah, it's so far behind. Breathe that feeling in and breathe it out. And you can do this exercise anytime you want. It's at your fingertips. But if you do need more help, if you're not able to do this on your own, if you would like a tool that you can have at your fingertips to use anytime you want to switch off unuseful, unhelpful neural pathways and switch on the helpful ones like calm and trust and confidence and health, then you can get in touch with me. I'll be happy to chat. No obligations. I just want to help. You know, it's interesting. I was chatting to some future colleagues who are currently doing the training that I did. I was talking to them yesterday. And, you know, they were saying, Anne, what are your goals and how's your business going? And I said to them, you know what my one main goal is every single day? It's to give hope or to encourage one person each day. That's my goal. Whether I do it in my paid work, whether I do it for free like now on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, whether I do it when I'm talking to a friend, whether I'm doing it because I'm smiling at someone in the queue in the shops or having a conversation with someone who looks like they're having a bad day, or saying thank you to a bus driver or whatever it is. Each day I want to offer hope and be helpful and compassionate to at least one person. If I do that every day, I'm happy. And it's a nice feeling. It takes a lot of pressure off, I can tell you. Doesn't mean I don't have goals for my work and my business. I do, of course. But what are the really important things in life? I really put my focus on that. So I hope this video was helpful for you today. I'm sure it was, actually. Because just being able to imagine a really positive future that and then bringing those feelings back to the present is a gift. Because as I said at the beginning, you're going to imagine the future anyway. So why not imagine a nice future and bring those feelings back? That's what I wanted to share with you today. So that being said, I am going to get back to work. The kids and my husband have gone out for the afternoon, so I am going to get a lot of work done. So I'm going to leave you here and look forward to chatting to you on Thursday. Bye for now.